and smelling of rat and moving like rat, and she were hungry, then that might be a good reason to bite and squeeze me. But I am just a tree right now. So.
It doesn't have fangs, does it?
No, she does not have
How
fangs.
long is she?
She is, I think, she's about 4 feet long, probably about as long as you are tall. It's kind of hard to see because she's all curled up, but she's pretty long.
Does python have a different pattern?
Yes, if you look closely at the other two that are in her room with her, you'll see that everyone has a different pattern. That's how we can tell them all
Aditi,
apart.
you can come to the front.
How long is its tongue?
Aditi, inge front la po. Inge vandu nallu onnu vaanga.
See,
Isn't that amazing?
it's kind of pinkish, but it's kind of dark on the tip,
Yeah, just wait. Wait her turn.
and it's really, really cute. You have a question?
Oh yeah. How does it feel? Does it feel scary?
She does feel scaly. You can also use your imagination because snake scales are made out of the same material that your fingernails are made of. So you see how smooth and hard your fingernails are. That's how smooth and hard her scales are. And of course you probably already know that they're very dry, right? The reason why they're so shiny is probably because she's so clean.
Do the pythons ever fight?
Not really, no. In fact, they do quite the opposite sometimes.
Can I pet you?
Yeah. We'll see it walk up there. Walk up there.
Don't reach out though. You never reach out to an animal without asking. That's a good way to get bitten. Just like if you see someone walking a dog, right? You never just reach out to their dog without asking. Ada came out here. She's very nice, but she came out here just for some relaxation, some sunshine, and a little bit of exercise on the tree limb that is my hand.
Oh.
What is the meaning
I
of
can see it.
cold-blooded?
Cold-blooded is a very confusing term. That's a very good question. So a better term would be to say that she is ectothermic versus us, we are endothermic. So thermic, like a thermometer. You've probably heard the therm part before. Ectothermic, ecto from the outside means that she gets her heat source, her heat energy from the outside, like the sun, like warm air, like a warm patch on the ground. We're endothermic, so we put energy inside, right? We eat food, and that's how we get energy to maintain our body temperature. So if you want to show off to your friends, and I know you do, endothermic and ectothermic are a much more accurate way of describing what we used to call cold-blooded and warm-blooded. When I first heard cold-blooded, I thought cold like it came out of the refrigerator? That doesn't make any sense, because her body temperature is not cold like it came out of the refrigerator, so it's very confusing.
What did it? No problem. Go ahead.
I'm sure you can figure out what they eat. You tell me.
Rats.
Rats, among other things, yes. Small, usually endothermic animals, like birds, maybe rodents, other such mammals, that kind of thing. Don't forget your hat. You dropped your hat.
How did we get her in the zoo?
She came to us because she used to be somebody's pet, and they got lucky, and that when they offered her to donate, we had a space. We get donations, people that try to donate their reptiles and their parrots on pretty much a weekly basis.
Okay.
And we don't have space in the zoo to take everybody's old pet snake, old pet parrot. So a word to the wise, think before you get a pet.
So what do you feed them here at the zoo?
Here she gets one kind of 100 or so gram rat every other week. They come to us frozen, and then we thaw it, warm it up, and give it to her. It's already dead, but she still strikes on it, still squeezes it.
Does she bite?
If we're not careful, she would, yes. But when we pick her up, we let her know we're coming. We're very careful. We don't handle her in such a way that she feels threatened. If she were to feel threatened by us, that's a very good reason to bite. If you threatened me and I felt like I had no other option, I'm going to bite you too. But you're very nice, I'm very nice, so we're not biting each other, right? So she does not feel the need to bite me because she's accustomed to being handled carefully.
Does the snake ever bite?
You tell me.
It doesn't have eyelashes.
Eyelids.
Eyelids.
Are you a herpetologist?
No.
You two ask some of the best, most science-oriented questions. Yes, snakes, different from lizards, do not have eyelids. She has a scale over her eye, so don't try to attempt a staring contest with a snake because you will lose, right? Remember, there is a lizard, sometimes called a glass lizard, otherwise known as a legless lizard, that looks kind of like a snake, but you will notice that even though it has no legs,
Look at the
it will
snake.
blink at you. That's a lizard.
How can
This
it
is a snake.
swallow its prey whole when it's so thin?
If you have a chance, I want you to look at, maybe you can use the internet to look at a snake skull, because their jawbones are not like our jawbones. We have one simple hinge back here, right, that allows us to chew like that, right, chew like that. She has an extra jawbone that allows this part of her jaw to move away from the upper part of her skull, thereby creating a huge gap. So she can consume, she can ingest very large items. The rat she eats literally is like about the size of my hand is.
Wow.
Even if she does bite, doesn't since she doesn't have fangs, no poison.
It definitely would not be poison. And actually, for an animal like this, it would be, a snake would be venomous, right? Some snakes are venomous. Snakes are not poisonous. Do you know the difference? This is very tricky. I can't tell you how many grown-ups come up here and they say, is this a poisonous snake? There's no poisonous snakes. There are venomous snakes. Venom is something that you inject into somebody else. Poison is something that you ingest. Right? So there's no snakes out there covered in poison, so when I eat them, I get sick. No. Snakes are venomous, though, some of them, not all of them. In fact, the minority are venomous. So this snake, so happens, is not a venomous snake. She's a constrictor. She does, though, have really, really sharp teeth. When you look at that snake skull, when you go home and either go to the museum or something like that, or find that snake skull and look at the teeth. They are very small, and they are needle sharp. I've been handling snakes for many years, and once I was actually bitten by one, but I didn't even notice. I was handling the snake, I looked away for a second, and I said, what is that strange feeling on my hand? The snake was letting go. Its teeth were so fine, like little tiny needles. I didn't even feel anything until it was like moving away. It was surprised by me, it must have been. Okay, do you want some practice, Emily? We're going to change trees now. We'll let Luke handle Ava for a while. If you have any questions, though, feel free.
Aren't they heavy?
She weighs actually 2,000 grams. So she weighs about 2,300 grams. Go for Leslie.
Hi, I am back and ready to
She can in her natural habitat, but she can't change her color.
Reptile building, please.
Unfortunately, that would be really cool if she could.
No. Scary.
That's
See
mostly
the iridescence?
yeah, it's mostly the sunlight reflecting off her scales.
Isn't
It
that
gives
pretty?
it like a rainbow tint.
Is it slime?
No, not at all. She's very smooth.
Has she ever shed her skin?
She has her skin. No, you can't touch it. She has her skin what?
She sheds her skin probably every couple months. Every couple months.
And when that happens, even the skin on their eyes peels off, so they can't really see anything. It's very just disorienting for them. So we never handle it at that time.
What do you ever do anything with their shed?
We actually do, yeah. Sometimes we'll give it to our education department so they can show other people. Sometimes we will use them as enrichment items for other animals, so we'll give the other animal just kind of a novel, interesting thing. In the same way that you might find the snake skin novel and interesting, we give it to the other animals, see if they want to look at it, smell it, maybe play with it, tear it apart, whatever they want.
Does the snake like hot places better or cool?
It depends. If she is feeling chilly, she likes hot places. If she's feeling really hot, she likes cooler places. So remember, when we want to,
Under the log?
yeah, maybe under the log. Under the log, it's kind of like a hiding place, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, like Luke mentioned, a heat lamp if she's feeling chilly. So whereas you and I, we will shiver when we're cold or we'll sweat when we're hot, right? She doesn't do those things. So she has to move to a warmer spot to warm up or move to a cooler spot to cool off. So the way they regulate is a little bit different than us.
Yeah, that goes for all reptiles. They can't control their body heat like we can. Like we do it automatically. We cool off, we heat up. Sometimes reptiles can't do that. They have to rely on outside forces to control the body.
Has she ever got babies?
She's laid eggs before, but because we want to make sure that we don't irresponsibly breed new pythons. Remember I told you that some people say, hey, will you take my old snake? Will you take my old snake? It wouldn't be very wise of us to make a whole bunch of new snakes with all these other snakes out there. So she has laid eggs before, but we do pull the eggs to make sure that we don't create more snakes that we have to find a home for.
In space too.
What do you mean by create more snakes? Like mate them?
They actually do breed in the exhibit, but in
You can mix snakes?
well, they would breed on the exhibit. But you know, in the same way that like if you or I had two dogs, you know, a male and female dog, if we were just like make puppies, make more puppies,
Like mutts? Huh?
yeah, like well the problem is like, well, where are you going to put them? You know, it would be very irresponsible of us as dog owners to just like create puppies without knowing like, well, they're going to have homes here, here, and here. Hence the whole spay and neuter thing like that, right?
Yeah.
So same kind of thing. Since it's physically possible to do a surgery for these animals for probably spaying and neutering, however, it's much easier if we find eggs, we pull them so they don't develop.
So if you put any type of snake with that, and they wouldn't attack each other, they actually mate?
No. It would, these are she has two individuals of the same species in her enclosure.
What kind of
Yeah, it's two male snakes and a female snake. These are all ball pythons.
Ball pythons?
Ball python. Yeah.
Ball python. Get out the dirt. All right.
Ball python.
Ball python.
You can see her roommates around the corner. Today we're just looking at the snake.
Don't you feel odd when it slithers on your hand?
We're used to it. Both of us, we've done this for a while, so it doesn't bother us.
You know what's funny too is that if you have a phobia of snakes, yes, it would feel very disconcerting.
Yeah.
However, if you like snakes, both Luke and I love snakes. It's mesmerizing. It's almost therapeutic because they have this. They're so fluid. It's really